All right, working on a 2011 Dodge Ram 1500. The blend door actuator for heating and air conditioning is clicking and making all kinds of noises. So we're going to try to replace out whichever blend door seemed to be broken. All right, so I want to give you a taste of what it sounds like when you start this thing up. And the blend door, I think it might be both. Like there's two blend doors that sit behind here. I think maybe both of them are messed up. I bought two just in case, but at least one of them is. And let me show you what that sounds like. Okay, so you start up the truck, hear one little noise. So that's the sound. It sounded like two were clicking at the same time for a moment there. And then it'll go through another cycle in a few minutes and more clicking will be occurring. So we're going to pull this whole section off and take a look at the blend doors and see what's up. So these are all the tools you're going to need. These are little nylon interior trim removal tools. I got them at Harbor Freight. They're like, I don't know, for a whole package of them, they were maybe like $5. They're super cheap. Little stubby P20. And then I bought two actuators. Um, I don't know if I'm going to need two, but I seem to be going through these like crazy. So I got two. If I need one, then I'll just keep the other because it'll break soon. I go maybe 6 months, so I don't know what's wrong that I keep having to replace these stupid actuators. But I've gotten to the point where I don't buy expensive ones because they break just as fast as the $10 ones, which is what these are, $11 at Rock Auto. So that's all you need. The first thing we need to do is pop this out. So just use these little trim removal tools and it'll pop out here. Kind of hard to do this with one hand. All right, so part one is that piece of chrome. It's not really chrome, it's just plastic trim. Number two is we need to get these two screws out. Now, for whatever reason, I'm missing the screw on this one, but I need to get this one out. It's a T20. It's 20 that we screw out. The next thing we need to do is take these two screws out, again, both T20s. Next, we need to take this base out, because to get this base out gives us the ability to hold this face out. And so I like I mentioned before, I took the screw out. You're gonna have to take two screws out, and we'll go from there. Now we've taken that plate out, so we can pull this whole unit out. That'll be our next step. Okay, so next we got to take this whole panel out here, and I always start by just kind of pulling it, which will pop it out, and then just kind of work your way around, and now it's free. So here's the back side of that panel. So here's the front side, here's the back side. And we have to get all of the connectors out one by one. Just gently pull the connectors. This one sec. One. And this one, I gotta pry the little bar up here. So, okay, this one took 2 hands, but you just have to push down the little thing, peels it open, and you pop it. So now the dash, I don't even know what you call this, is it a bezel or instrument panel, whatever the heck it's called, it's now out. So we'll just kind of set that aside, and we will take a look at what's going on inside. Okay, so here are the 2 actuators. There's one here and there's one here. Now, off camera, I started up the truck while the panels was still connected, but I could reach back behind it. This is the one making most of the noise. I put my hand on it and I could feel it clicking. However, this one clicked a couple times, so I know it's not good either. So gonna pop both of these out and replace them. All right, so first thing I need to do once to get these things off is you gotta detach the connectors. So just put a little pin. Connector 1 is out. And over here, connector number 2. All right. And now they're freed up to be unscrewed. All right, so I just put a little stubby Phillips head. Okay, so this is now ready to get taken out. And we can replace it with the new one. Okay, here's the new one. Put it in, fits on the pegs. Okay, so this fits in on some pegs so that you know it's straight. And the peg is here, if you can see where my finger is, and right below it is the hole for the screw. So we'll get that started. All right, so if I start with my hand here, cut it in, and we'll do these simple screwdriver. The seasons keep messing up. It's hot cold and it just lines the little plastic gears and everything. Okay, so that's in. Now we'll plug this connector back in. Snap it in so it clicks. First actuator's changed. Now we got to get the second one out because it's also clicking, and you know, I bought 2, so we'll get the second one taken care of. All right, now we got to get the second blend door actuator out. Same process as the first, where we have 2 screws to get out. Again, try not to lose the screws. Drop them because they're a pain to get. Simple as could be, and then it just pops right out. That's simple. Okay, so we'll put the second one in. Slides right in here. Get it till it clicks in on the posts, and then put those screws back in, which I will start by hand. And then we'll move to using this simple tip. And then lastly, we'll put the connector back in, hopefully, till it clicks in, and we should be good to go. Now it's time to put this main instrument panel, or whatever we call it, back in. And the key here is to just get it near it, and then we can begin to connect all the connectors in the back again. Okay, so it's all snapped in, but now we gotta fix it. So put these T20 screws in. then just screw them down with that T20. Alright, so here are all of our connectors. The first one is over here. I'm going to get the orange one clicked in. And there's this one right in the center. That's clicked in. And there's this little guy towards the top. That clicks in. This big one, this clicks in a little different than the rest, where this has to go forward until it clicks. Alright, now that one's in. And the last one is this little green connector, which goes in sideways like this, clicks in. Now that's all of the connectors back into the instrument panel. Next we take this panel, kind of line it up, and it'll start just snapping in. Just kind of feel it to make sure it's in good. It's off a little bit down here. There we go. It's all in. Okay, so it's all snapped in, but now we gotta fix it. So put these T20 screws in. Start them by hand and then just screw them down with that T20. Next up is to put this piece of trim back in. It requires me to open up a little compartment, put it in, and then it just snaps in. And then if you remember, there's two screw holes here. I only have one screw still left for it, but I'll put in T20 right there. Last is this fake chrome piece that goes around. You'll see on one side it has 3 tabs. That goes closest to the back seat, and 2 tabs, which goes closest to the dash. Put that in, and that just snaps, clips in. Alright, we're getting there. I use this as an opportunity to clean out my cup holders, so I'll put those back in. A little rubber base, I guess, for this coin area. And then lastly, got to cover those screw holes. This rubber piece, which is like warped and bent over the years, but it's there. So all of this is back together now. All right, the $1,000,000 question, will it click when I start up? All right. So far, so good. Great, I think we're good to go. No more clicking from the blend door actuators. At least not for a few more months until they get messed up again and I have to go through this process all over again. It seems like a major flaw on this Dodge 1500. All right, we fixed the blend door actuators on this 2011 Dodge Ram 1500. They're a pain. They break every 6 months. They start clicking and I got to replace them. They're garbage. I guess it's the price you pay when you own a Dodge. You got to replace them constantly. So it's a really easy job. You can buy cheap ones because they're going to break if you get cheaper good ones. At least that's been my experience. And might as well spend $10 versus like $40 on the blend door actuators. So pretty easy task. Hope this helped.